Missing out on AAA gaming because you only have a Switch? These 12 games will make you forget about other consoles. Welcome back to Switch Game List. And here is the list. Let's kick things off with Astral Chain. Picture this. You're in a cyberpunk future where interdimensional monsters are tearing the world apart. As a rookie cop in an elite police force, you've got a unique weapon, a living chain that connects you to a captured monster called a legion. What makes this game stand out is how you control both yourself and your legion at the same time. You'll chain up enemies, solve crimes, and uncover a conspiracy that goes way deeper than anyone expected. The combat feels incredible. You're practically conducting a symphony of destruction as you coordinate attacks between yourself and your legion.
Everything it feels.
That means it's working. So I'm guessing you can see that thing in front of you now, too. That ugly son of a bitch is what we call a chimera. The Ark's not so public enemy number one.
Moving on to Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Forget everything you know about the series. This isn't your typical Prince of Persia game. You play as Sargon, a warrior with time-bending powers trapped in a cursed city where time itself has gone wrong. The platforming here is tight and precise. You'll wall run, double jump, and dash through intricate levels filled with deadly traps. But what really sets this game apart is how it messes with time. You can create checkpoints anywhere, rewind after mistakes, and even meet different versions of yourself from other timelines. It's a fresh take that manages to capture the spirit of the classic games while doing its own thing. Sea of Stars hits different. This game is what happens when you take everything great about classic RPGs and polish it until it shines. You follow two solstice warriors who can harness the powers of the sun and moon. The combat might look simple at first, but there's a rhythm to it. Time your button presses right and you'll deal extra damage or block incoming attacks. The pixel art here isn't just nostalgia bait, it's gorgeous, with dynamic lighting that makes every scene pop. And the story? It starts simple but builds into something special, with characters you'll actually care about. Ghostrunner puts you in the cybernetic shoes of a wall-running, sword-wielding ninja in a tower city where everyone's trying to kill you. One hit and you're dead, but so are your enemies. You'll die a lot, but respawns are instant, and each death teaches you something new. The game flows like nothing else. You're constantly in motion, sliding under obstacles, running on walls, slowing time to dodge bullets, and cutting through enemies in a single strike. When you finally clear a section that's been giving you trouble, it feels like you just pulled off the most incredible action sequence in gaming. Unicorn Overlord might have a quirky name, but don't let that fool you. This is a serious tactical RPG that'll scratch that Fire Emblem itch and then some. You play as a young prince building an army to take back his kingdom, but it's how you do it that makes this game special. Each battle feels like a proper military campaign. You're moving multiple units across huge maps, setting up flanking maneuvers and making tough decisions about who to recruit. The real magic happens when you start combining different unit types and discovering how their abilities work together.
What magic should I grace you with? I've had quite enough of you Zenoiran dogs. Leave now. My magic is...
No Man's Sky on Switch seems impossible on paper, but here we are. An entire universe in the palm of your hands. You start on a random planet with a broken ship, and from there, well, that's up to you. Want to be a space trader? Go for it. Prefer to build elaborate bases across different planets? You can do that too. Maybe you just want to discover weird alien creatures and catalog them. That's also an option. The game's come a long way since its rocky launch, and while the Switch version doesn't look quite as pretty as other platforms, the ability to explore an infinite universe on the go makes up for it. Hey, quick pause here. If you're enjoying this look at some of Switch's finest games, hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Let me know in the comments which of these games you've played or are excited to try. Now, let's continue with our lineup. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is unlike anything else on the Switch. This isn't just a game, it's an experience that'll stick with you. You play as Senua, a Celtic warrior dealing with psychosis while on a quest to save her dead lover's soul. The game uses binaural audio to put you in Senua's head. Voices whisper, argue, and warn you about dangers. The combat's brutal and personal, but the real challenge is the psychological journey. It tackles mental health in a way that's both respectful and deeply affecting. Fair warning, this isn't a game you play to relax. It's intense, uncomfortable at times, but absolutely worth experiencing.
However hard she tried, begged.
Immortals: Fenyx Rising takes Greek mythology and turns it into a playground. Think Breath of the Wild meets Greek Myths 101, with a healthy dose of dad jokes thrown in. Zeus and Prometheus narrate your adventure as you solve puzzles, fight mythological monsters, and try to save the gods from a titan who's turned them into vegetables. Yes, really. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, but the combat and puzzles are solid. You'll spend hours gliding around the map, discovering challenges and upgrading your abilities. It's not trying to reinvent the wheel, but it sure knows how to make that wheel fun to roll around with.
Don't remind.
Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp brings back the classic tactical warfare series with a fresh coat of paint. If you've never played Advance Wars before, think of it as military chess with personality. You command an army of tanks, infantry, and aircraft, trying to outmaneuver your opponent while managing your resources. Each commanding officer has unique powers that can turn the tide of battle. Using them at the right moment feels like pulling off a perfect combo in a fighting game. The cute art style might fool you, but make no mistake, these games will test your strategic thinking to its limit. Temtem takes the monster collecting formula and adds its own MMO twist to it. You're a Temtem tamer in a world where everyone's connected. Other players are running around, battles are always 2-on-2, and there's a proper endgame with competitive elements. The creatures themselves are creative, the battle system rewards strategy over grinding, and there's always something to do. Whether you're breeding the perfect Temtem, decorating your house, or taking on other tamers, the game respects your time while giving you plenty of reasons to stick around. The sinking city drops you into a flooded city where reality is coming apart at the seams. As a private detective with a habit of seeing things that shouldn't exist, you'll investigate cases that start mundane but quickly spiral into cosmic horror territory. The game lets you piece together clues and come to your own conclusions. There's no hand-holding here. The atmosphere is thick enough to cut with a knife. And while the combat's a bit clunky, that almost adds to the feeling that you're just a regular person dealing with forces beyond comprehension.
Fatal round to the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Wrapping up with Master Detective Archive's Raincode, imagine if Persona and Fenyx Wright had a baby, and that baby was raised by David Lynch. You play as an amnesiac detective in training paired with a ghost who can transport you to a weird realm called the Mystery Labyrinth. Each case has you gathering clues in the real world, then diving into surreal mindscapes to piece everything together. The writing's sharp, the characters are memorable, and the way it blends reality and supernatural elements keeps you guessing until the end.
Yeah.
Hey, let me know what you think about these games. Maybe you've played some and have a different take, or maybe something here caught your eye. Drop a comment, let's chat about it. See you in the next one.